So how are we going to do this?
Just two of you in the room.
With a new phobia defense, public defender Pat Nally is headed off to trial.
All right, you ready?
Mock trial.
You nervous?
Very.
Like a real jury.
For hours, trial consultant Amy Singer has been working with Nally, Judy Alves, and Brian McDonald to craft a defense for Stephen Coleman.
Now what we want to do is test it out.
The question is, will the new group believe that Coleman was temporarily insane when he committed a triple murder and sexual assault?
These are our attorneys for the evening. The purpose is not for them to win the mock trial and then go into court and lose. If anything, better off losing in mock trial, finding out what all the problem areas are, and then winning in court. Go ahead, Don.
Thank you.
Miami defense lawyer Don Bierman is playing the role of the prosecutor.
It was a dark and terrible night on September 28, 1992, when three young people made the fatal mistake of befriending a National Guardsman who had been sent to Miami to help with the hurricane. Regina Rodriguez looked like this after she met Stephen Coleman. She looked like this. Yes, he had evil thoughts, but not insane ones. When he brutally and without conscience took the life of the three young people. Today in this trial, I'm going to ask you to come to the just result, find him guilty of 3 counts of premeditated first-degree murder, and recommend that he die in the electric chair.
Now Pat Nally gets his turn.
He's got to move. He's got to move the room. He's got to...
Stephen Coleman has never, ever been arrested. Why would Stephen Coleman do the carnage? He was cut, and Stephen Coleman snapped. He was drunk, he got stabbed, he got poked with a needle, or what he thought was a needle, but it was actually a knife, and he snapped. Coleman does not deserve to die.
Next, they hear Coleman's version of events on videotape.
Allow me to guide you back in time.
An interview with a defense psychiatrist. Coleman was under hypnosis.
September 28, 1992. You're right there. You can see, you can hear, you can feel. You're right there.
Hostile.
Hostile. One, you're right there.
Mad at him. I'm asking why he did it. He won't tell me.
Why he did what?
Why he hit me. He's a nice guy. I didn't know why he wanted to hurt me, so.
What made you decide to have sex with at this point?
Pay her back.
Pay her back? For?
For what they did.
Now the mock jurors must decide what it all means.
I'm ready to try him until I see this tape of him under hypnosis, and I don't believe it was premeditated after I see this tape now.
I think he was dead drunk, and he just got out of control.
How many think he's not guilty by reason of insanity? How many feel he's guilty of something?
The fear of needles defense seems to be going nowhere fast, but Singer isn't giving up.
I think that we're very close.
To what, insanity? With this group?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I just think that you haven't associated certain concerns or doubts that they have.
They're trying to decide between first-degree felony
Absolutely.
murder and second-degree murder.
No question, that's what they're doing.
How many feel that he was guilty of second-degree murder or manslaughter, basically not premeditated?
Based on the evidence that we see.
Again, based on what we see.
Based on the evidence.
And how many feel that he's guilty of first-degree murder?
I think that they can be convinced of insanity, because I happen to think it's true. And I think people can be convinced of the truth.
Why don't we ask them
Yeah.
Because it also
if
talks
it would
about
help
Yeah.
to give them another 5 minutes of evidence?
No. Enough already, enough. Let me at him. Let me ask you a question. What, you saw those photos. Is that a depraved mind? I mean, who does that? How many sane neighbors and friends do you have go around killing, mass murder 3 people, and then proceed to have sodomy and sexual intercourse? Raise your hand. Why not? What's happening there? He lost it. How do I sell the insanity defense to 12 rational human beings?
Don't show the jury, don't show the tape.
I agree.
That tape's a killer.
Absolutely.
Because he admits what he did.
Right.
And doesn't show any, like, I freaked out, I went crazy.
I have trouble jumping from fear of puncture to killing.
Once this guy did it, I don't know he's not going to do it again, so I'm of a mindset that I don't want this guy to go free.
How many of you think he would kill again? Then you're not going to let him go. You're not going to let him go. Okay. I think that you can sell the insanity defense because I think you can.
It's too fragile. It's too fragile.
Oh, I don't see it as too fragile. I think it's the truth.
We can't take that chance.
You're going to go see Steve Coleman tomorrow.
That's for sure.
What are you going to tell him?
We're going to tell him what happened here tonight. Yeah. He's got to make a decision. He has to decide to take the sure thing, which spend the rest of your life in jail, or gamble.
The best outcome is what's being offered.
What's on the table is a plea bargain, which up until now Coleman has refused to accept. But the next morning,
when we told him what happened yesterday, whatever glimmer of hope he had just went down out the window, down the tubes, and he did what he had to do.
This court will enter a finding of guilt and adjudicate you guilty of count 1, first-degree murder, count 2, first-degree murder, count 3, first-degree murder.
Do you ever worry that you are manipulating this system?
Oh, I'm not manipulating the system. What I'm doing is a tremendous service because if I don't do what I'm doing, then it's a crapshoot. Then it's a roll of the dice. It's a gamble. And why should justice be a roll of the dice?
Another roll of the dice is jury duty. Sooner or later, almost everyone gets summoned, but not everyone serves.
This is my 6th time down here. Sent the birth certificate in 5 times.